Hi everyone, the Adidans here from Asian Film Fans. Welcome to this video. Now this is going to be a mid-year box office update. Usually we wait till the end of the year to do these, but we notice these are quite popular. So a lot of people seem to like box office results. Now this video will cover Chinese movies only at the Chinese box office, and it will cover a period from the 1st of January 2023 to the 30th of June 2023. So there are quite a few movies that have missed out on this list, and it's worth noting this is the first year in a very long time that I've seen so many foreign movies in this list, and they're not going to be counted in this video. So just to tell you what those foreign movies are, the ones that have charted so far very highly in China include Fast and Furious 10, Suzumi Locked Door, which is a Japanese animation film, Avatar Way of the World. We've got the first Slam Dunk, which is another Japanese animation, Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They're the big foreign movies that have made it in. As you can see, there's quite a bit of a desire for those big American blockbusters and a couple of Japanese animations as well. However, making this video towards the end of July, and the list has already changed up already. So there's 3 movies that have been released in July that are already in the top 10, which means that movies 8, 9, and 10 that you'll see on this list have already been kicked out. So those movies are the Never Say Never, which is the Bao Wang Chang movie about the kidnapped children. We've also got 3,000 Miles from Chang'an. It's also made it. That is an animation film. And Creation of the Gods, the first part, which is coming in quite low, to be honest. So I'm thinking that'll pick up a fair bit towards the end of the year, and you might see that chart a bit higher than it is now. But anyway, let's get into the top 10 Chinese movies at the Chinese box office from up to the 30th of June. Now, coming in at number 10 is a movie that I don't really know anything about. It is a romantic drama film called Love Never Ends. Now, this movie is about the story of 2 lonely and impoverished elderly lovers who are at the end of their lives. It sounds like a bit of a sad romantic film. And this one's got a good cast, though. Stars Cara Wai, the Taiwanese actress, and also the Hong Kong actress Tony Leung, Ka Fai, the other Tony Leung, not the In the Mood for Love Tony Leung. Now, this is directed by the same person who directed the excellent movie Animal World and the 2021 hit Little Red Flower. So that is number 10, the movie Love Never Dies. That was released on the 21st of June and so far has made 427 million Chinese RMB at the box office. Now, coming in at number 9 is a comedy film called Post-Truth. The synopsis of firstly, it was released on the 10th of March. And has made 700 million Chinese RMB at the box office already. Now, the plotline of this one's a bit strange. So, due to a promise, a cemetery sales rep embarks on a road trip to clear up the rumors surrounding one of his clients, who is a former mob boss who's now middle-aged and destitute. So there's a bit of controversy there, and he just wants to clear up his name. This movie is written and directed by Chen Pendong, who directed and starred in The Winners and also starred in The 11th Chapter, and is in the upcoming movie Dust to Dust with Gordon Lam. And that one's probably worth looking out for. Coming in at number 8, and this movie will be kicked out by the end of year top 10. So this is the only time you'll ever see it in a list. This is the Top Gun ripoff, as everyone seems to have called it, Born to Fly, which was eventually released the 28th of April and only made 845 million RMB at the box office. Now, this movie is about a special operations team headed by elite pilots who were ordered to test new fighter jets. The test flight after test flight, they challenged the limits of sky and themselves. Pretty generic sounding plot. This one starred Wang Yibo, Hu Zhan, and Dong Yu Zhao, and is probably more well known for the fact that it was supposed to release last year in 2022, but got canned pretty badly by Chinese netizens who said the special effects looked terrible and it was a far too much of a Top Gun ripoff. So that was canned, redone, rebought back, but didn't look like word of mouth did this one any good at all. Moving on to number 7, we have an animation film called Deep Sea. Now, this was released on the 22nd of January. So this is for the big Chinese New Year. It was one of the Chinese New Year releases. This one made a respectable 918 million RMB. Nothing to sneeze at. The movie is about a girl who strays into a dreamy deep world in the deepest part of the sea where all of her secrets are hidden. And this was very well received, this movie. However, there is no international release for this scheduled. It's only ever been released in film festivals, and I've heard nothing about this getting a wider international release at all. So perhaps this could happen more towards the end of the year and one of the streamers might pick it up. But as it is right now, there's nothing about this film getting an international release. So that's number 7, the animation film Deep Sea. Coming in at number 6 is probably one of only a handful of movies I've watched on this. I did watch Born to Fly, and I have watched this one, and I did not enjoy this movie at all. This is a history thriller called Hidden Blade. Again, released for Chinese New Year, 22nd of January, and again, only made 931 million RMB. This one follows the story of underground workers who risked their lives to send intelligence and defend the motherland. Set after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor when the Wang Jingwei regime declared war on Britain and the US. This one stars Wang Yibo and Tony in the Mood for Love, Leung. I just didn't enjoy this film. I found this far too patriotic, far too much propaganda, and really not an enjoyable film. There's been quite a lot of films about the Cold War. Oh, sorry, not the Cold War. There's been quite a lot of films about World War II and Japan and China, all that kind of jazz. If you really want to see a good one, The Coldest City, which was released not too long ago, I feel is a far better film than this one because it has no propaganda in it. None of that communist stuff in it. This movie was just full of it. A very confusing first 20 or 30 minutes put a lot of people off. And in the end, the box office results showed wasn't a big hit in China, this film. So that is the film in number 6, Hidden Blade. Coming in at number 5 is another movie that probably won't get much wide release either. It is a comedy drama called Godspeed. And this is about a family of 4 people who experience a laughable and touching truck journey. This stars Ma Li and Shan Xiao from Bath Buddy. Now this one certainly only has a local Chinese appeal. This was released on the 28th of April and actually made a pretty remarkable 1.184 billion RMB at the Chinese box office. So that's nothing to sneeze at all. That's a really good result. But this is not a film that will get much traction outside of China and certainly won't have much appeal outside of China. Now, one film that will have a widespread appeal outside of China is the number 4 film. That is Boonie Bears. What is this one called? Boonie Bears Guardian Code. This is number 5 in the Boonie Bears series. Very, very popular Chinese animation series. Again, this was released Chinese New Year, 22nd of January. This has made a remarkable 1.495 billion at the box office. Now, the good thing about Boonie Bears movies, for those interested, is they always get international releases. They always dubbed into English. And in fact, the synopsis I've got here is the English characters' names. So, Briar and Bramble lose their mother at a very young age due to mysterious circumstances. Many years later, when an older female bear shows up on the scene, the brothers are determined to find out the truth once and for all. So, as I've said, this one will always get an English release. I'm not sure which platform takes this film, but you will see this movie with an English dub probably already now. Coming in at number 3. Now, this movie, its placement on this list is probably a little bit higher than it should be. This is the thriller mystery Lost in the Stars. This was released the 22nd of June and has an asterisk next to it. It's currently on 3.484 billion. However, I believe about 65% of that money was actually made after the 1st of July. So in reality, this movie is either just in 3rd place or should be in 4th place at around 1.4 to 1.6 billion RMB. This movie is a thriller. Now, it's about a guy called He Fei and his wife, Li Muzi, who disappears during their anniversary trip. When she reappears, he insists that she is not his wife. As Chen Mai, a top lawyer, gets involved in the bizarre case, more mysteries start to emerge. Now, this movie is based on a Russian comedy film. It is a remake of that film. also mixed in with a real-life murder mystery case from something that happened in Thailand involving Chinese nationals. So this movie is a bit of a blend. Stars Yilong Zhu from Cloudy Mountain and Janice Mann from Fireflies in the Sun. Now, this movie is produced by Si Chen Chen, who produced Fireflies in the Sun as well. And this is the third movie of his that is a remake of a Western film, or a non-Chinese film, I should say. A couple of years ago, we got Sheep Without a Shepherd, which is a remake of Drishyam. Last year, we got Fireflies of the Sun, which is a remake of John Q. And this time, we've got Lost in the Stars, which is a remake of the Russian film. I can't quite remember off the top of my head what that film's called. But this one has a fairly decent result, although being the fact that it's a Chinese thriller, not too sure the ending's going to be that fantastic. But the word of mouth has been pretty good on this one. Moving in at number 2, this was the movie that everyone thought would be not only number 1, but probably the top box office movie ever in China. We've got The Wandering Earth 2. So this was also released on Chinese New Year, 22nd of January, and has made a remarkable $4.029 billion. So you've got to be thinking the movie that's beaten it actually made a hell of a lot more than that. This is a sequel to The Wandering Earth. Well, it's actually technically not a sequel. This is a prequel to The Wandering Earth, where focus is more around the building and the construction of all the Earth engines and the whole process before the Earth started to be shifted out of orbit into the new location that it is headed to. So this one stars Wu Jing, and it could only star Wu Jing if it was a prequel, since as we all know he died in the first film, and also stars Andy Lau. Now, as I said, everyone thought this would be the top movie of the year, and it was doing quite well for the first week. And then the next movie that we're going to look at, number 1, got exceptional word of mouth and slaughtered it. So the movie at number 1, also released on Chinese New Year and making a remarkable 4.544 billion RMB, is the comedy drama film Full River Red. Now, this one is set during the Shaoxing period in the Southern Song Dynasty, 4 years after Hero Yu Fei's death. There's troops that have been sent to negotiate with the kingdom, and on the eve of that meeting, an envoy of the kingdom, Jin, is found dead at the prime minister's residence, and a secret letter that he was carrying has disappeared. So by chance, a small soldier and the deputy commander of the personal battalion are involved in a huge conspiracy, and the Prime Minister has ordered the two to find the murderer within the hour, but things are far from simple. There's a full in-depth investigation that's done, and the truth behind the case seems to hide a bigger conspiracy. Now, this one, as I said, was a smash hit thanks to word of mouth. This one's directed by Zhang Yimou, stars Shenten Jackson Li and Zhang Yi, and it was actually a really fantastic movie. This is one of four of the top 10 movies I've actually seen, and this is easily my favorite out of all of them. Is a great blend of comedy thanks to Shenten, and also a great blend of kind of action drama thanks to Jackson Yi. Plus there's a bit of history around the Full River Red poem that is actually recited at the end of the film. And it's good to see Zhang Yimou have a hit back in China. Last year, his Chinese New Year film Snipers flopped, the one that he directed alongside his daughter. So this one is actually a bit of a return to form for Zhang Yimou. Now, interestingly, overall, this is the 6th highest earning Chinese movie ever at 4.5 billion. And if you're curious to know what the other 5 movies above it are, released in 2019 at number 5 is The Wandering Earth. Also released in 2019 at number 4 is Najar, which is an awesome animation film. In number 3, released only a couple of years ago, it was the comedy smash hit Hi Mum. In number 2, from 2017, and held the top position for a very long time, is Wu Jing's Wolf Warrior 2. And number 1, also Wu Jing movie, is The Battle at Lake Changjin. The sequel to that movie actually never charted anywhere near as high as the first one. So that's the top Chinese movie, highest earning Chinese movie of all time. Anyway, thank you for watching this movie. This is the first 6 months of 2023's top Chinese movies at the box office. Which one of these movies have you seen? Which ones did you enjoy? Which ones do you want to see? And what are your predictions for what will be the top movie by the end of the year? We still have the National Day holidays coming up around September. So far, no big or very interesting movies have been kind of announced for that release period yet. So I'm not sure we can expect too much change of the top 5 on this list. But anyway, leave a comment below, press like if you enjoyed this, subscribe to Asian Film Fans for more videos, and otherwise, I will catch you next time.